Good morning. This will be our last session. Tear. What the hell, get over it. Let's go ahead and finish up with this chapter anyway, chapter 24. We did the role of CCK, cholecystokinin, and one of the digestive enzymes, and that was on figure 24-22. Okay? Now, I have enzymes, and probably should have said hormones. Now, what we've done so far in digestion is the lipase is broken down to lipids to the fatty acid and the glycerol. Oh, by the way, you notice my hat? It's 32 out there this morning, and it's a little bit warmer than that in this room, so I ain't gonna take the damn thing off, not until I warm up. Anyway, which does not surprise you. Oh yeah, the lipase, the pancreatic lipase, with the help of the bile that emulsified the lipids right there, has broken down the lipids to fatty acid and glycerol. That's been picked up by the lacteal. Now, what about the proteins that we've eaten? What about the carbohydrates that we've eaten? Well, if you will remember, the amylase secreted by the mouth, which does not have much of a function, and also by the pancreas, has broken the carbohydrates down to oligosaccharides, smaller saccharide units, smaller monosaccharide units. But it can't be absorbed. Heck, we can't even absorb a disaccharide, alrighty? Much less anything else. What about our proteins? Remember the pepsinogen to pepsin, the trypsinogen to trypsin, those protease enzymes have broken the protein down to oligopeptides. We still can't absorb those suckers, alright? So enter in the role of the brush border enzymes. The brush border, if you look it up on Wikipedia, is how it did, just to be sure. I thought it's enzymes secreted by the villi. But on top of the villi are microvilli. Did not know this until we had the electron microscope. The microvilli secrete enzymes, still probably made by the villi, but that's all right. The microvilli enzymes are brush border enzymes, and they break down the oligosaccharides and oligopeptides down to their mono units, down to the individual amino acids, down to the individual glucose units, all right? That's the role of the brush border enzymes. That's where they are secreted, and that is their function. Without them, hell, we would die. I don't want to die from a lack of brush border enzyme secretion. So evidently mine are still working just fine. Okay, now let's take a look at the large intestine. We have a picture of the large intestine on 24-24. Okay, let me draw a little bit right here. Large intestine looks like this. Now, small intestine hooks in here. Back at the region of the last region of the small intestine hooks right here. It is the ileum, okay? And this is the cecum. This is the cecum. C-E-C-U-M is the first region of the large intestine on the right-hand side. And there are three regions of this, as you well know. It ascends, it transverse, and it descends, okay? So, on the ascending region, a little about your belt line on your right-hand side right here, is where the small intestine joins the large intestine, joins the cecum right here. And there's a vestigial apparatus attached right here. Vestigial apparatus right here. Some people have an itis of this thing and have to have it removed. Tell me that vestigial apparatus. You will see this on 24-24. Tell me that vestigial apparatus. Review for me the definition of vestigial. Look it up if you have to, again, but we have talked about that, okay? Now, the reason I want you to know this is, well, several things about it. There's individual segments, not quite individualized right here, but there's a segment right here called haustra, H-A-U-S-T-R-A. H-A-U-S-T-R-A. Haustra are the segments of the large intestine right here. And they're not quite pinched off, okay? They are sectionalized, okay? They are sectionalized right here. And they're bands, they're connective tissue bands called tinea coli, tinea, excuse me one second right here. I'm hoping it's a tinea coli. I don't even see the damn things in here. We're going to call them tinea coli anyway, because I don't see what else that they are. Okay, we'll call these the tinea coli. Well, all I have to do is look at my notes right there. So they are bands that hold this thing together. Fairly wide, fairly fairly wide band to hold this. That's a tinea coli. That's a band that holds the large intestine together. Hostile to the individual segments, not quite individualized, but segmented parts of it. And our large intestine looks about like this. It's about 6 feet long. Well, what happens in the large intestine? Okay? Because the small intestine has already finished everything that we've eaten, broken it down to the monos, to the glucose, the individual amino acids, the fatty acids, and the glycerol, and all that's been absorbed. Now, I forgot to mention, where do the fatty acids and glycerol go again? What picks them up? Review for me what a lacteal is. What about the others? What about the glucoses, and what about the amino acids? Well, that gets into the hepatic portal system, okay? That gets picked up by the blood. All right, now, so if all that's picked up, and the majority of it is, what happens in the large intestine? Okay? Well, it's water absorption. The main function of the large intestine is water absorption. Now, this sucker's loaded with a lot of enteric coli, enteric bacteria, okay? And the majority of it is E. coli. I want you to know that E. coli is a majority of it. But there's hundreds of other bacteria in there. Salmonella's in there. Hell, we probably have Staph aureus. We probably have resistant Staph aureus is in there. We got a bunch of stuff in there, okay? Bunch of microbes, enteric microbes that we have right there. And each one of them are native to us. Different from me and from you a little bit. Not much, but a little bit different right there. So what happens in the large intestine? Water absorption. If not enough water is absorbed, we have a loose stool or diarrhea. If too much water is absorbed, we're constipated. So it's kind of a tricky thing to have a natural bowel movement. It really, really is. When you have one, be proud. I've often heard that half of the bowel movement is the bacteria that's in the gut. Maybe so, maybe not. I don't remember exactly where I've seen that. But that's a lot of bacteria, okay? So anyway, let's finish up right here. Posterior tenicle is significant about the sigmoid colon. Well, the sigmoid colon, sigmoid is just a bend, just a region here. The sigmoid colon is this region right in here. And some people have to have this scoped for polyps. A sigmoid colonoscopy, just call it a colonoscopy. Sigmoid region is where the polyps form. Precancerous growth that are called polyps, all right, are forming the sigmoid region. That doesn't mean that the tube's not long enough to go all the way over and check out the ascending region right there. And that tube, all it's got to do is be about 7 or 8 feet long, okay? If there's a history of colon cancer in your county, in your family, in your county, well, you want to live someplace. So it's probably recommended about the time you're 40 years old to get a colonoscopy if there's a history of colon cancer, okay? Now, I've had a colonoscopy once. I don't want the damn thing ever again. I will have it if I have to. I ain't damn sure ain't gonna volunteer for it. So the significant part about the sigmoid colonoscopy is the checking for polyps, precancerous growths, okay? And they lasso them and they pop them off and the suckers pass out. They pass out in the feces right there, okay? Now, free vitamins produced by the local flora. Local flora is just another term for the enteric bacteria that's in the large intestine, okay? Local flora. Probably should use that term to begin with it. So you're looking here and you tell me 3 vitamin productions, 3 vitamins that are produced, and mine is on page 900, yours is probably 920 or something like that. Opposite page 24, 25, vitamin production, okay? Tell me what vitamins are produced by the bacteria. So there's really 2 main functions to the large intestine, water absorption and vitamin production, okay? So you list 3 vitamins and I'll be happy, okay? What gives feces a natural color? Well, it should be a light brown anyway, or dark brown, or green if you eat a lot of spinach. You can have green poop. If you eat a lot of spinach, it's got to come out someplace, okay? Now, I want you to think back to the breakdown products of the red blood cell. The biliverdin, which is green, the bilirubin, which is brown, all right? It's going to be the buildup of bilirubin. It's converted to stercobilinogens, urobilinogens. You may remember that. I kind of hope so. That is what gives feces its color. The breakdown products of the hemoglobin, okay? Not the iron, not the globin, but the porphyrin ring. The breakdown products of the porphyrin ring give the feces its natural color. Okay? Review the role of vitamins. A vitamin is a coenzyme. A vitamin is a coenzyme. You may remember and should remember what the heck a coenzyme does. It activates inactive enzymes. That's what it does. 2 categories. Fat soluble and water soluble. Fat soluble and water soluble. A, D, E, and K are fat soluble. I want you to know this. A, D, E, and K are fat soluble. The rest of them are water soluble. You cannot overload your body on a water soluble vitamin. You simply will just pee out the excess. But you can overload your body on fat soluble vitamins. So if you take a fat soluble vitamin, A, D, E, or K, just be careful of the amount that you take, okay? Because it will build up in your fatty tissues, and sometimes it will be released, and sometimes you can get a toxic result of vitamins that are released from the fat storage in your body when you lose weight. So just be careful if you take a vitamin, a fat soluble vitamin, A, D, E, or K, just be careful of the amount that you take, okay? Now, 3 effects of aging. I guess you had this in your chapter, I don't know. It's toward the end of the chapter right here. It's many age-related changes affect digestion and absorption. Probably the last section, probably 24:9. It is in 9 right there. So you give me 3 effects of aging. 3 effects of aging, there's probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, probably 6 listed right there. You just give me 3 effects, okay? But this is what's going to happen to you if you live long enough. And I hope and pray that each of you do. Now, with that in mind, the French would say, c'est ça. That's it. And I don't know what else to say, okay? I miss y'all. Don't mind telling you that. Now, this sucker is due by a week from tomorrow, a week from Thursday, 30th of April at 5 o'clock. Don't wait till 5:30 to send it because I won't take it. A week from Thursday. So go ahead and do it. Get it done in the next couple of days. Send it to me. And this will be your final exam. Okay? And when I grade them, I will post your grades probably, I don't know, probably the following week. If you do this right here, you're going to make at least 95 on your homework assignments. At least 95.